in that manner. That means we have summarized the Bantu speakers. Let us come to the Nilotes. Nilotes are people who are associated with the River Nile, and we all believe they migrated from the lower Nile Valley in South Sudan. This group is subdivided into 3 groups. River Lake Nilotes. This is a group of the Nilotes who believed that their migration was associated with moving along the lakes and rivers. The River Lake Nilotes in Kenya comprise only one community, the Luo, whose original homeland is believed to be at a place called Barel Gazelle. Or cut that long story short, you are asked about the original homeland of the Luo, simply talk about South Sudan. But as they migrated from South Sudan, this group of people moved and settled, first made their settlement in western Uganda at a place called Pabungu Pakwach. Therefore, I question that may be demanding you to name the first settlement of the Luo. We are done with that. Pabungu Pakwach. From Pabungu Pakwach, this group of people moved into Kenya in 3 distinct groups. Oral tradition points out that the migration of the Luo into Kenya was led by a Luo warrior, Osumba Muruai, by the name Ramogi Ajwang. That is why they are referred to as people of Nyikwa Ramogi Ajwang, the grandchildren of Ramogi Ajwang. So this Ramogi Ajwang was a great Luo warrior who, according to oral tradition, led their migration into Kenya. As they were coming, they came into 3 subgroups. The people of Joka Jok made the first entrance, followed by the people of Owen, Joko Owen, and finally people of Omolo, Joko Molo. And then they later spread to where they live today. Then we come to the Plain Nilotes. The reason as to why they are called Plain Nilotes, these are a group of people in this country that predominantly occupy the Kenyan plains. This group of Nilotic speakers comprise of 5 groups. You know, when we were growing up, I remember those days when we were in primary, there used to be this type of sweet at the counter in these shops called mints. We were privileged to have those during those early times. These days, I hear kids talk about Big Daddy. We were never privileged to have Big Daddy at that time. But there was this sweet called mints. We learned that these mints can make us learn the 5 groups that forms the Plain Nilotes. So we could just write the word mint. Mints down, where M stand for Masai, I stand for Iteso, N stand for James, T for Turkana, and S for Samburu. In this group, there are these 2 groups called the Maa speakers. Masai and Samburu are referred to as Maa speakers. Why? Because they share similar tradition. You're done. Come to the island Nilotes. These groups comprise a group of people called the Kalenjin speakers. Now, one thing I love with the Nilotes and the Kushites is because they share one physical characteristic, homogeneity. There are people who look similar in appearance. In public, you can easily tell yule ni Mjaka. You can say yule ni Masai na pengine si Masai, ni Msamburu ama ni Mturkana. You can easily say, huyo anaongea kama Mkale. But can you distinguish which type of Mkale? Mnandi, Kipsigis, Tugen, Keio? Or you can say, ona yule Oria. But can you distinguish which Kushite group does this person belongs to? Is he a Somali Borana? That homogeneity is what is lacking with the Bantu speakers. But for the Nilotes and the Kushites, their voice is called homogeneity. So let me summarize with, under the Nilotic speakers, let me summarize with the Highland Nilotes. I've said this group comprises of a group called Kalenjin speakers, where we have the Nandi, the Kipsigis, Sabaot, Keio, Tugen, Pokot, and then we have Sabaot. You're done. Let us move on to the last group, the Kushites. Oral tradition points out, and not even oral tradition, the first group of people to have migrated into Kenya were the Kushites, with the southern Kushites making their first presence into this country. Kushites are categorized into two. The southern Kushites, who are today in this country, exist in terms of just remnants because of hemi-assimilation by their counterparts. The Dahalo or the Sanye, that is the only remaining group under the southern Kushites. Others proceeded to Tanganyika like the Iraqi and the Burundi. But the largest group of Kushites forms the eastern side, the eastern Kushites. This is where we have Somali, we have Borana, we have Rendile, we have Oromo, we have Burji, and then the Kabra. So I want you to look at that summary. And by the time you're done with that, you have summarized all of them. Lastly, as I wind up on question 18, now comes to the social aspects, political and economic. In the same form we learned about political, economic, and social